Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much again for joining me for another episode. Today, we are continuing on with the Neca Toony Terrors reviews. I know I've been putting out that I was going to do probably like 3 videos, put something else in between, another 3, etc., but scratch that. I'm going to put all these episodes back to back. So, for the course of the next, 10 days or so, you're probably going to be looking at nothing but Neca Toony Terror reviews. I do have all 4 figures from the Series 4 release. Now, Series 4 is actually the first of the 2020 releases. I've been talking about having only 1 figure remaining, but that's not true. In fact, in the last video during the review of the Nun figure, I actually had a loose one I bought recently. I should have shown that one off. I didn't. Apologize for that. Series 4, I have 1 more loose figure that I can show off, and other than that, there are a few additional loose figures, so am I going to get them all loose at some point? That is the goal. Kind of do what I've done with all the other collections, have the loose figures kind of sitting in front of their carded figure, and, it'll display much better, I think. So, first figure we are going to take a look at today is Beetlejuice. Now, there are a number of characters selected for this line that I kind of feel like make no sense. For Toony Terrors, when I think terror, obviously you're thinking big-time slasher guys, right? You're thinking Pinhead and Michael and Jason, Freddy, the big guys. Even Leprechaun would be a really awesome character to make as a Toony Terror. I mean, you've got the little dolls from Chucky and the Bride of Chucky. So what was her name? Was it Tiffany? Yeah, it was Tiffany. So you got Chucky and Tiffany. So you can make a smaller figure like Leprechaun. So I'm waiting to see if they ever come out with that type of character. But Beetlejuice, I don't consider Beetlejuice to be horror. I don't consider the movie to be horror. The way that he kind of screams and the snakes kind of fly out of his head, kind of like Medusa or something. Yeah, if you're a small kid, maybe that you would get a little bit of shock off of that. But Beetlejuice, to me, it doesn't fit with the rest of these figures, the rest of these characters in this line. So, actually, as a matter of fact, I kind of feel like this is one of those movies that don't need to be redone, right? Beetlejuice already is a fantastic film, and I think anyone in the 70s, 80s, even 90s, this is one of those movies you grew up watching. I don't think that it has to be redone because they are coming out with a part 2 at some point. I don't know when, but I just feel like, yeah, it's nice to see a grown-up Christina Ricci. It wasn't Christina Ricci. Winona Ryder. It's more of a grown-up Winona Ryder, and now her daughter is, I guess, going to be the one that calls on Beetlejuice. I don't know. I haven't really read the reviews or anything, so I don't know what the movie's going to be about. I just saw that one part where Winona Ryder is grown up and has a child, and so I think Jenna Ortega plays her daughter. So, I mean, that should be interesting. Jenna Ortega seems to be all over the place all of a sudden. The figure itself, I mean, very Michael Keaton. Awesome, fantastic look and graphics to the figure. Accessories, does he come with anything? It doesn't look like it. But I don't know if you guys can make it out, but the little sandworm is right at the bottom on the back of the card there, so that's pretty awesome. And of course, the little sand dune. Go through the door, and you fall into this desert area. Beetlejuice. Yeah, that's... I don't know, I might like this one loose. I mean, I'm obviously, like I said, I'm going to try to get them all loose at some point, but this might be a loose figure that I go for sooner than later, because even the crazy Albert Einstein here and everything, I mean, that is really solid. And I'm pretty sure if you kind of like rub your fingers on that, it'd be nice and sharp. So, Beetlejuice at number 1. Number 2 is Regan from The Exorcist. Now, there's actually 2 Regans. The blue dress Reagan is relatively affordable. You might be somewhere in the $20, $30, maybe $40 range. But for whatever reason, the yellow dress Reagan is like $50, $60, $100, $125, depending on, which seller you're looking at, either on Mercari or eBay. And it's crazy. I'm like, I don't want to pay. I'm definitely not going to pay no $100 for this. $50, again, out of desperation. If I have all the figures and I want to complete the line, yeah, I'll pay the $50 for the yellow dress. But it's literally the exact same figure. I think all of the accessories, everything is the same. The only thing they swap out is the color scheme. So I don't know what's up with the new Reagan, with the yellow dress Reagan. If that's supposed to be this same character, just they want to profit more off of it by utilizing the same character, different release, make more sales that way. Because everyone that buys this one is going to have to buy the yellow dress, right? Or if it's supposed to be more based on a more modern day interpretation of The Exorcist. Either way, Exorcist, what was that, a 1977 movie? 73? I don't remember. Linda Blair, I believe, was the daughter, if I'm not mistaken. To this day, that movie, again, that's one of those films that will stand the test of time. The original was fantastic. The Exorcist actually had a really fantastic TV series on Fox. Ran for about 2 seasons and they canceled it. Why? Because Fox is the devil. Fox doesn't know how to keep the best shows on the air long term. And how The Simpsons, for example, has lasted 3.5 decades is beyond me. I could see that show lasting that long on like maybe NBC perhaps. Definitely on like the WBCW type of deal. But on Fox that cancels awesome show after awesome show. Crazy. But this is an absolutely fantastic look all around. Love the graphics on the back of the box. So far, graphic wise, I think the back of this box is one of my favorites. Covered puke stain. I don't know if that's okay, I guess that's supposed to be like projectile vomit or something. Yeah, you could actually swap out the head and you can see how the mouth is open. I'm pretty sure you could attach the vomit into the mouth, and that would actually look really super cool. There is some kind of graphic on the back again. Unless you take this off the card, you're not really going to make out the background very well. But still, take a look at. I'm trying to show off the individual head mold on the side there, and then the vomit, and then the possessed Reagan. Okay. All right. Coming in at number 3, we've got Sam. I could have sworn I had a loose figure of this guy, but you know what it is? I had a second carded figure, and I've been trying to sell that for 2 years, maybe not that long. I would say at least a year or longer, though. I end up getting all these duplicates. Maybe I buy something because I put an offer in for one, and maybe I put an offer in for another, and they're both accepted, or I put an offer in for one, and I don't hear back for like a day or two, and then I, purchase one from someone else, and then the other guy accepts. Or it could be as simple as, hey, I'm bidding on a bundle of figures, and I might only need 1 or 2 of them, and the third one was just a spare, essentially. You got to be, essentially, you got to have my mindset to be eager to go out and buy these figures. Seeing how long I've had that stuff on my eBay, for example, how many times I've listed it as buy it now, switched it up to auctions, and you tell me I can't get $10 or $12 for this on auction, which is ridiculous. Because I think all of these figures should be in the $15 range, $20 range, easy, regardless of the character. I'm trying to see if that head, because that secondary head, I'm wondering if that actually fits on this body. So Trick or Treat. I know I saw that movie. I'm trying to think what it was. Sam. I know the movie. I know I've seen it, but I just don't remember what it was about. I want to say that no, because that guy was a devil. I'd have to go back and watch that movie again. I just don't remember the movie, so I don't know if like someone gave me a description of what it was like. I'm like, oh yeah, I could talk more in depth about it, but I don't remember anything about the movie. Still though, background is nice, but it's a figure review video, right? So awesome patches, look like he'll stand pretty well. I don't know what this is. Is that like a... That must be his Halloween candy bag. Right here. Solid figure. And the last one. This is actually one of the best action figures, period. This thing is absolute killer, and I mean that in every sense of the word. From Hatchet, we got Victor Crowley. Now, this is such a sad story with this respective character. So, for those who don't know anything about Hatchet, essentially, a boy is born with a deformity, and his father basically hides him away in their home, throughout his life. And one day, the locals show up and try to burn him out of the house, and there's a lock on the door, and Victor he can't get out. I think he's a grown man at this point. He can't get out. He's obviously trying to escape the flames and the heat, obviously, and so he's banging on the door trying to get out of the house. And his father shows up. He can't get him. He can't get in the door. So he comes and he gets an axe and he starts to axe down the door. Well, Victor is obviously pressed up against the door as he's trying to get out. His father is on the other side trying to cut open the door, and his father ends up cutting him, basically stabbing him in the head with the axe. And when you look at his face, that is the graphics you see. And of course, his ghost or spirit or whatever, supernatural comes back and becomes a big time slasher. I know I've seen the first one. I know I've seen Hatchet 2. I think that's where the sister of one of the deceased that Victor killed comes to Louisiana, I believe they're in. Comes to the swamp to try to find her brother or find out whatever happened to him. But, I mean, considering that the character, he did nothing wrong. He was just born different, and the way that he was treated, and that part really got me. That part sucks. All he had in life was his father, and being the dad and killing your kid, I don't care if he's 3 years old, 30 years old, or 90 years old. You kill your own child, it's going to hurt you big time. I don't remember what happened to the father, but I'm assuming eventually he died of old age or something. But the evil Hatchet, fittingly for the weapon. But look at the details. Everything for the deformed forehead, the slash in the face, your bloody overalls. Boots look absolutely fantastic. I like that. That's a nice little killer design. And, oh man, the spine. Check that out. This is why I must have loose figures, because we already know I'm not taking these things out of the package. But, so the only way to kind of get this kind of affection or really enjoy them is to have a second set where I can get them loose. And plus, seeing how carded figures sell, yeah, I mean, I've always said these collections are going to stay with me forever, but at the same time, if I'm in my 60s, 70s, and we're downsizing, or they just simply don't hold any value to me anymore, I do want to sell them, and I'm hoping that by that stage in life that a figure you buy on card now for $20, hopefully, some years down the road, that, those things are worth $200-300 easy. So, And just because you paid $20 for purchase price doesn't make it, $20. That's another thing why it sucks selling on eBay. Mercari, kind of same deal, but now that the seller's fees are out, that's good. But think about this, you buy an item for $20 and you resell it for $30. You're actually taking about a $5 to $8 loss on that. Now you're thinking, okay, you bought it for 10, or you bought it for 20, you sold for 30, you made a $10 profit, but not really. Shipping could be $8. Taxes, another $5. That's $33 already. And you sold it for 30. Okay. You're at a $3 loss already. Plus eBay selling fees may bring it down to about $25. So you took a loss of $8 on that item. You can't really just look at purchase price. You have to consider shipping costs and taxes and everything that you paid into it. So you really got to sell it for any good profit. You got to sell it for like $40 at least, and kind of look at it as like a $3 to $5 profit, which really isn't worth it. But alright, those are the 4 figures from Series 4. I am going to stay down here and make probably another video or two. So these videos, obviously I'll be going back to back. I have all the figures for Series 5, all figures for Series 6. I only have 3 out of 5 for Series 7, so I'm going to try to buy them, but those killer clowns are like massively expensive. Not like super like $300 type of deal, but they're hovering around $50, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying $50 for Toony Terrors. I don't care who the character is. Series 8, I only have 1 of the 3 figures. I could still do a review of the 1 figure, but it's going to kind of look stupid. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But more than likely, right now, when we get to Series 8, I only have that 1 figure to look at. I'm probably going to just review it and post that 1 video by itself, which means you're probably looking at like a 10-minute video overall. And I'll probably try to stretch it out to get more content, make the video a little bit longer. Alright guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye everybody.